What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Entre Mike back with the Entre Short for Entrepreneur. In this video, we're going to be going over 3 different scenarios. How much money can you make with the Hotshot truck? With the scenarios being if you ran your truck at $2 a mile, $2.25 a mile, and $2.40 a mile for all total driven miles for the month. I hope you guys enjoy this video. The box truck community really loved theirs, so I decided why not do it for Hotshot to see what your cost would be. So before we start, make sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. The first scenario, we're going to be going over what it would cost you at $2 per mile. But I do want to go over each cost just really quickly so you guys understand, all the numbers behind it. We used averages, right? So my truck payment for my first truck was $820. Second truck was around $1,250, but the costs have changed now, right? Where my trailer payment was $500 a month. I would say, we're still in somewhat of a more inflated market, so we're kind of using more inflated numbers. Whereas for the truck payment, we're just going to go with the average of $1,500 for the payment. It would be somewhat of a newer truck, financed maybe on a 5 or 6 year term. For the trailer payment, we put it at $700 because I know a lot of guys in between $500 to $1,000, so we went with $700. Insurance payment, this can vary hard, right? Whereas $1,500 is to some guys on the steep end, but I say this is pretty much an average for what I'm seeing for hotshot truckers right now. By the way, if you guys need an insurance quote, check the description to get in contact with me. Permits and licenses, I know some guys do over-dimensional freight, but we're just going to kind of leave that out of this video because most carriers are not taking over-dimensional freight, although that is how you're going to maximize your profit. And for back office and miscellaneous, this cost right here will just be 13% of the overall cost, that 13% being factoring and dispatching due to it not having an option to put that on here. That's just what most guys are paying on average. So we're just going to use those, but just know this cost will vary. Notice also hotels are included in this cost because most of us with hotshot truckers, once we do this for a while, we ended up building a bed in the back seat. But if you want to go ahead and calculate the cost per mile or cost per month for hotels, I would use a range of $2,000 to about $2,500 for what you'll usually spend. And then for total miles driven, this is going to vary as well due to downtime, but we did 10,000 miles for this example. Truckers average miles per gallon. This could be debatable, right? Since we're doing all total miles, I decided to keep it at 10 because when we're empty, we can get 12 to 14 miles per gallon. But while being loaded, depending on how high, how heavy the load is, we can be as low as 7 or 8 miles per gallon with a 40-foot high cube container, or even 6 miles per gallon, 7 miles per gallon, depending on what kind of setup you got. If it's CDL, non-CDL, all of that stuff matters. So we went right in the middle at 10 for all total driven miles. So just keep that in mind. When I speak on $2 a mile, $2 a mile is for all total miles. And the average fuel price in the country right now is $3.70. I understand if you're in Texas, it'll be lower, or if you're in the Southeast, it'll be lower. If you're in the West Coast, it'll be higher. So just keep in mind we're using a national average at $3.70 per gallon for diesel. Driver pay, so we're just gonna be with you guys being a driver only. So this scenario is for you driving the truck only. If you guys want to see what it would be with having a driver, comment that down and I can make that next week or sometime in the future. For repairs and maintenance, this is another one that will be debatable. You could argue that this could be maxed out at $2,000, but I'm just going to keep it for the regular maintenance, like, the oil change, fuel filter changes, not necessarily for tires and stuff. Because if we do, this will be a lot higher, honestly, than $1,000 a month. But this is what most people put away, so that's what we're going to keep for now. But yeah, before we start, I just want to, like I said, go over this back office and miscellaneous because it's going to change on each one of them to the 13%. So at $2 a mile, right, that gives you a gross of $20,000. Yeah, let's just do the math here. 10,000 miles times $2 a mile, $20,000 gross, times 13% will get you that dispatch fee of $2,600. So I just wanted you guys to understand that as we go throughout the video. It is a good bit of math in this video, but I hope you guys enjoy me taking the time to show you on average what a hotshot trucker could make in the environment of making anywhere from $2 a mile to $240 a mile. All right, let's do it. So up here in the corner, you can see the total cost per mile and total cost per month. For $2 a mile, running at 10,000 miles with these costs, the cost per mile is $1.11. $1.11 per mile, almost $1.12. So let's go ahead and do our math. We already know the gross is $20,000. We're gonna subtract it from the total cost per month, $11,175. That's going to get us a grand total of $8,825 of profit. That's gross profit. And we're going to go ahead and, take away 20% for the taxes, Uncle Sam. And that gives you a monthly profit of $7,060, right? If you were to multiply that times the annual basis, that would get you $84,720 for the year. If you were running at $2 a mile, pretty standard for 12 months out of the year at 10,000 miles, right? It's pretty realistic depending on the cost. All right, so let's go over another scenario. I use 225 for myself because on average, that's kind of about what I was getting, especially in a good time. So the next scenario is going to be going over what you would make in the same scenario at 225 per mile. All right, we got 225 per mile pulled up. We're at $1.14 on the cost because, like I said, didn't much change besides the back office. Everything else is basically the same. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're gonna take 10,000 miles times 225 a mile. It gets you to $22,500, and we're gonna subtract it from the total cost per month. And that's going to be $11,400. That gets you to $11,100 worth of profit. Now we're going to multiply that times 0.8 to get what you would have after taxes. That would be $8,880 for an annual profit of $106,560. Now, that's not bad. That's where you're pushing six figures on 10,000 miles. For the box truck community, I did 12,000 miles for them. Just realize these profit margins and the percentages are going to be based on how many miles you're driving a month. I figure doing 500 miles a day isn't too uncommon for most guys. That's about 8 to 9 hours of driving per day. So it's 100% possible. Is it realistic to do 225 per mile in this market? That's more of a debate, right? But that's really it for this example. We're gonna go ahead and go to the last example of 240 per mile because I don't want this video to be too long. I already know the answer to this, but we're gonna go ahead and do it. 10,000 miles times 240 per mile, gonna get you 24,000. And then we're going to subtract it from the total cost per month. Didn't change again too much due to the only thing changing is the dispatch fee and factoring. So, this is where it really shows that your, cost of operations really matter. Because the more you can do better at dispatching and keeping your truck in the right area, the more money you're going to make overall, right? So we got our gross profit of $12,275 times 0.8 gets you to 9,820 for 12 months out of the year. That will bring you to a gross or an annual net profit of $117,840. And that's really it. If you guys want to see another scenario, maybe with a paid off truck and trailer, or maybe with the driver included, make sure you guys drop that down. I just wanted to get something out quick for you guys to show you an example of how you can use these cost per mile calculators when you're brand new to help you understand how much is really possible to make depending on your overhead. But that's it. It's your boy Entre Mike. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Drop a comment down on what you want to see next. And that's it. Peace.